Hi guys, I'm Uncle Richie.
Yo, what up? J Money's back.
And this is C10. And you're listening to the Unkles Podcast.
Hey, J Money, Super Bowl, baby.
Biggest the what?
Money Mahomes,
Bro,
jeez.
I didn't watch the game. No, but I saw like people out in the office
Yeah.
and caught up a little bit of a glimpse, and then they went to extra time or OT or that overtime they say.
Yeah, they went into overtime. Kansas City, they were down by 3.
Yeah.
Then kicker stepped up, kicked the field goal, and then it was 19-all, I believe. And then they went into overtime. 49ers kicked the goal, made it 21-19. Then, 2 seconds remaining on the clock, and Money Mahomes does his thing. They score a touchdown, win the game. 49ers fans driving home, Kansas City Chiefs fans going on a bender.
Bro, I wanted to read something to you that was interesting that I found out today about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So there's this podcast, other podcast we listen to. She's on the money.
Oh yeah.
And then they were dropping some facts about the Super Bowl. So the lowest price tickets available today were 8,750 AUD dollars. The lowest price.
$8,000.
Yeah.
Dollars.
And highest was 302K. The best tickets you could get, maybe like a box or something, or even like
Probably a
row.
full experience.
Yeah. And then they were saying like half of America's population would have had a punt on today's
I did.
thing, bringing in close to 10.7 million.
Wow.
Fuck. Ooh, and some of the other, like, Patrick Mahomes signed a new contract guaranteeing him up to like 206 million
Yeah.
for the whole, from 2023 to 2026.
Yeah.
That's why he's the big man, hey?
That's why he's Money Mahomes.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They 5 Super Bowl appearances for the Chiefs.
Mm.
No. Yeah, 4 or 5 in the last 5 years. And they've won 3 now.
So do we think about it, if we put it into rugby league terms, they're like the Panthers, huh?
I would say the Panthers are trying to be like the Kansas City
Oh.
Chiefs. Because, the Chiefs have been there 5 times.
Yeah.
They've won 3. Panthers have been there, 3 times
Yeah.
now. So they got to go there the next 2 times.
Yeah. And even if they lose or win, they still need
Yeah,
to fight.
yeah. I mean, if they win all 5,
Then-
they're better than the
Yeah,
Kansas City
okay.
Chiefs. But I think it's just crazy, like to do that in a Super Bowl where it's so competitive, and it's just really hard to consistently appear in a Super Bowl.
Man, even if he just gave me like 10% of what he was getting, bro. That's 21.5 mil.
It's not little money,
No.
big money. Money Mahomes.
Shit. Anyways, back to reality.
Back to the uncle's level.
Yeah, how are you, bro? Good?
Yeah, good, bro.
Yeah.
February. Actually, nearly halfway through February now. It's fucking. It's
12.
going. It's going really quickly, but going good at the moment. Still sober.
Yeah.
So, it's a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
6
at
weeks.
the
Yeah, I'm
moment.
4 weeks.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
actually today would be a month.
Yeah.
I stopped on the
Ooh,
12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the month mark for me was it was interesting because I started to have a lot of dreams after a month, like vivid dreams. Just random people, rocking up in my dream, and they're really like, it's almost like a movie, like. And sometimes I'll wake up feeling like I haven't slept.
Yeah.
Because I've just been dreaming the whole night. But I think it's just my brain sort of, clearing up and, mental fog and all that stuff starting to creep out. So your brain's like, kicking into overdrive.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere, I was like, why am I having these dreams after a month of no
What
alcohol?
are the dreams like? Are they just
random, like, I'll go back to, actually, weirdly, one of them comes to mind as like being chased by, like, I don't know, I was doing some bad stuff and like got chased by the cops. So like I just woke up and like, I was like, fuck, it felt so real. Like, when a dream feels really real and you're like, shit, did that actually happen? It's like, nah, it was just a dream.
Yeah.
And then a few other ones where like random people come in and you're like, why is this person in my dream? But I think it's just the brain starting to tick over now because, no alcohol, sort of slowing it down. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
But, we'll discuss that. I think at the Q1 mark will be good.
Yeah.
Let's get to the end of March.
Vibe check, yeah.
Yeah, 3 months in, and we can maybe do a thing. Because like Chatty said last week, man, I want to start journaling.
I did it today, yeah.
Really start writing those things down. Yeah. But how are you, bro? How's life?
Bro, it's been good. Back to, obviously, like 4 weeks now, back to work. We went back on the 8th. I just feel it's just gone so quick.
Yeah.
Like 4 weeks, had the holiday. 2 months ago, it was December. Like Christmas was nearly 2 months ago. So I think that's just been busy at work. But outside of that, good. Rachel, my partner, has her birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Rachel. Shout out from the uncles.
Yeah, from the uncles. The podcast drops on a Sunday, so happy birthday on the
Boom!
Sunday. So we might be doing something on Saturday.
Lovely.
And then Sunday she'll spend some time with her family. But yeah, she's good. I think I'm still planning my trip to New Zealand. So we've just finalised the actual itinerary and getting that sorted out. So I'm really looking forward to when that comes. And then we also had today drop in, on Monday, because this drops on a Sunday. My boss, actually the CEO of the company, said we get an extra day off in April. So yeah, it was just so good, man. I was like, it's called a Thrive Day. So
what?
We should be thriving after that. So but work's really good. So yeah, there's so many good things with the business. I'm stoked about. So yeah, it's good learning. A lot of things happening and new people coming on. So yeah, it's been good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good to hear, bro.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, excited. But busy.
Busy. Well, I like it. It's better busy than stagnant and slow. I think you just get through your shit when it's busy, but good busy, as you said. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Hey, like when you with work and the productivity of it, if you have an environment that everyone knows what they're doing, and when things come in, you get it done straight away. Yeah. And obviously there's a lot of checks that needs to be done and things like that. But if you have a high performing team, everyone knows their job. It's like rowing, when you get on a boat, if you by yourself and you need a 7 foot, or you're on a 6 or 8 foot sort of, or how long the boat is, you need like 3, 4, 5 people to help you. Yeah. And everyone's doing their job and digging in. Everything works.
Everything works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got something a little bit different. Yeah. I want to say a big shout out to Bryson, who's, he reached out to the uncles. He commented on one of our posts. This is something we've been asking people to do. Send us a request or send us some topics that we can discuss. So Bryson, being the good man he is, sent through a few topics that, we want to discuss tonight. Thank you. Thanks, Bryson. And J Money, I'll let you read out the first question for us.
Yeah, no, thank you, Bryson. Echoing Richie's words there. Really appreciate the questions. So the first one that Bryson sent through, he's asked, there seems to have been an uptick in the creative space in Brisbane. How important do you think collaboration is to this? And is there any advice you can give to those people who want to be in the creative space but are a bit shy or timid or taking their time with the next steps?
Yeah, that's a huge question.
Yeah.
I think so. Two-part question there.
Yes.
Collaboration being the first one,
Yeah.
and
Advice.
advice
on how
on.
to overcome being shy and timid, and
Yeah.
what can you do to take the next steps?
All right. So I think for me, the first one, collaboration. So you just have to look at the Unkles sort of growth path in the last year or so. We started off just speaking to each other.
Yeah.
I think the whole point of that was so we could practice speaking and asking the right questions, being more confident in front of the mic, in front of a camera, and going from there. And then now you've seen us collaborate with a few PNG people, DC Gang, Amelia Cook, Chad, and they're just having them on and speaking to them has not only lifted the numbers on our platform, but I guess it's also is allowing us to build on our goal to showcase PNG to the world, which is what we're trying to do. So that's you only have to look at our success and the path that we started. Collaboration is definitely a massive thing. What do you think, J Money?
Yeah, definitely share the same thought there, because if you look at the way that this podcast has been set up, we wanted to give an opportunity for a platform, to have where we can invite people from PNG to come in and express their stories, and through that story showcasing how our country is to the world. And I think a very good point that Chad made last week was he mentioned how he's proud to be PNG, the connection that he has, and listening to us talk about it makes him feel like that. And I think tying that back to collaboration, it's just finding people that have the same common, thoughts as you. They are on the same journey, and when you find those people that are on the same journey, you have interest in what you're doing, and with those interests, you share similar ideas, and those ideas are then generated into something fruitful. So I think when you are looking to collaborate with people, just making sure that they align on the same things as you do, share the same vision, and share the same overall objective to help you both get there. And whether it is trying to work with a singer. I mean, we're not in that space, but you're finding someone that might not necessarily have the same vocals as you, but you're collaborating and you share like a common goal to the song that you guys are putting out together. Things like that, where maybe that might not be a good example, but you get what I'm saying in that sense. So yeah,
I think that's a big
yeah.
thing. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to the Unkles Podcast. If you're enjoying this episode, please subscribe or give us a follow.
So the next part of the question was, is there any advice you can give to those people who want to be in the creative space but are a bit shy or timid of taking that next step?
Oof, that's a great question. I think we were very shy at the start, and I only have to go back to a year ago where I sat down with you guys, and we had all these thoughts about how we should do it, whether we should do it, when should we drop it. There were all these thoughts playing in our mind, but as soon as we dropped that first one, that was it. Like, at least we had something out there. We could see the views starting to come in, whether it was one or two people watching at the time, it didn't really matter. So, but I think, every time we drop one, there's still a feeling of like, shit, is this gonna be, like, will it be good or will we get some hate?
Yeah.
So it's always in the back of the mind, but I think, from what we spoke about at the start was that we know ourselves that we're doing the right thing and what we believe in, and no one if it comes down to it, any comment that comes onto the potty, or anyone who says anything about us is, it's literally nothing to us, because we've got tunnel vision. We know where we want to take the uncles, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think for me, there's two things that stand out from what you just said, and the first is that if you have started something, you're already 50% of the way there. So if you're shy and timid about taking that step into that space, just give it a go. And if you give it a go, you're already 50% of the way there. It's just about being consistent and having a routine base. And once you have consistency and have routine, things will just come naturally. And then that's when you're able to, have that vision and just focus solely on that vision, wanting to be the best you can be in that creative space in whatever you set yourself to achieve, whether it is to, produce content like what we're doing, or start creating music, or start writing poetry. No, but yeah, that principle is
nothing wrong with that.
And then next part of the question that Bryson sent through was, how important do you think fan involvement is in the creative process, or the direction in which artists decides to take their art form?
Oof. Very important. I mean, this is a great example of fan involvement right now. We've been saying it from the start that we wanted people to reach out to us and give us topics so that we can discuss them on the potty. And Bryson, thank you. He's thrown a few tough questions in the circle for us to answer. So that's a perfect example of fan involvement, and trying to listen to the people that are investing their time with the uncles. So it is very important, and I also think it sort of does pave the way for forward for the potty as well, and it really sets the tone. So I mean, depending on what the fans want, whether they want a day in the life with Mr. C10 when he goes to the studio or something, or a day in the life of the uncles as we get here to record. It's really up to what the people want, and we've got some things planned in the pipeline. We're going to start doing some more different content to see what you guys like and what you'd want to see more of. So another great question.
Yeah, no, for me, I think if you have that fan involvement, you understand truly what your fans want, and then you produce the content that suits them. Whether it is, when you're writing a song, you're asking them, who do I collaborate with? Is there any artist that you think my music will sound well with? And then, because they're the ones that ultimately are going to be listening and consuming your music, your content. So I think that's a big element to take into consideration when you're trying to enter that creative space. And then the next question that Bryson asked was, how important is patience as a role in this space, particularly like talking to the creative space?
I'll let you take
it.
Yeah,
I think patience is a big thing, because in all walks of life, whether it is in the creative space or your job, or whenever you're trying a new routine, or when you're stepping in and doing something new, if you have that patience, it allows you to, first of all, be comfortable enough to take that step and be steadfast in that process. When you're not patient and when you're rushing to do something, you're not gonna be able to do it to your best of your ability. So being patient, understanding what your own needs are, and ticking the boxes as you go along, because every time you do something, you'll learn new things, and you'll be able to achieve different things that you set your mind to. It's just about, if you don't get it now, be patient and work towards it tomorrow. As Chad said last week on the podcast, never resting on your laurels. If you're patient, you just keep working hard, keep grinding, and in whatever walk of life that is, you'll be able to get to where you need to be just by being patient.
Yeah, I think that's very important, and to what Chatty said, don't rest on your laurels, and we're still learning, like we're only a year in.
Yeah.
So like we don't have all the answers.
No.
We're taking it each day as it comes, each episode as it comes, and we're learning and growing and still on this path of trying to get the uncles out there to everyone in the world.
Exactly.
Number one in the world.
Yeah, let's go. That was a question from Bryson. We also obviously through asking for people to give us asking our fans, to send through content. We actually have someone that sent a voice message through the Uncles Instagram page, and with that, I've got the question that they asked, which I'll be able to share with everyone. I'll just play it on the podcast so that people can listen to the question that's been asked, and then both Richard and I will answer it ourselves.
Good loving and loyal uncles. We got triple question. Name me Jeremy Gabriel. First one, is what favorite comedian lo international space or lo comedian group lo Papua New Guinea. The question, one dream business lo triple it. Namarapla one plus something you got long bucket list playing Yubela. Which Yubela like time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeza. Jeremy from Geru.
He didn't say what's Geru part of the Geru is from, like maybe stage 6 or
maybe we don't know. But definitely Geru.
Yeah. Let us know, Jeremy, if you're
Jeremy. Look, thank you for sending that to the uncles. I appreciate it. The first question there was
who's your favorite comedian, both from an international and local perspective?
Boom. So international, I would say my guy Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Just funny comedian. He's real raw. That's what I like about him. Just he says whatever the fuck he wants to say, which I think is the best thing.
Yep.
No holding back. Kind of like this other PNG comedian that I like, Cabbage Gang, and he's a big fan of the potty.
Yeah.
We're a massive fan of him.
Huge.
We think he's the funniest guy on the planet, and he's doing great things with his comedy, because he brings up a lot of debatable issues within PNG at the moment, but he, I guess, delivers them in a funny way to people. So those are the two for me.
Yeah. For myself, I think Kevin Hart. I just love him in everything that, even when he does serious roles. There's this movie on Netflix that he did, and it was a serious role. He was a bank robber, and he was like in that role he was stealing from museums and things like that, and I just couldn't get it. He's just so funny in everything else from all the other movies he's done. So I really rate him as I would have loved to go on and see some of his live shows. I think that'd be pretty funny. And from a local perspective back home, couldn't go past Cabbage Gang. I think, to your point before, the biggest thing that he's been able to tap into that no one else has done before is just using humor to cut through on those social issues and the topics. And I think everyone in PNG relates to what he's talking about, and he's also making the content funny to be enough that it's digestible, and people, sometimes it's even cutting through to people and they're like, oh fuck, actually talking about a good social issue there. So those are the two that really, really stood out for me.
Awesome.
And then the next part of the question was, is there any business interest or venture that you'd like to get into? That if money was no object, you'll be able to tap into?
Damn. That's a good question, Jeza from Geru. I actually go back to the episode with Amelia Cook, and she spoke about at the end there where she would love for women, younger women especially, to have more equal opportunity in sport. And I think even young men as well, like PNG people are some of the most naturally gifted, talented athletes, and there only needs to be a well set up organization such as an academy or something that can really start to bring out some of these these shining stars that are back home. And if I had $1 billion, I would pour that money into a facility or an academy back home, which would house some of the best sporting athletes in the country. They'll have a chef there, they'll have some of the best coaches there. They live on campus, so you get your breakfast, lunch, dinner. You live there, you train there, and then at the end of the day you sort of get pushed out into the world to go to universities, go to high schools, and they train you up. But at the end of the day, you come back and you represent PNG, the nation. So that's one business venture I would go into if I had the money.
But I really love that, because before when, and I'm getting off topic here, but before when PNG was under Australia's colonisation, they had the government would pick the brightest kids in PNG and they'd send them down to Australia and pay for their school, pay for them to go to uni, but then they had to go back and work in the government. So the first ever Chief Judge of PNG, Seburu Kiru, he was lucky to be one of those people to come down here and go to school at Tomba Grammar, then UQ study law, and then he worked in law in PNG and then became the first Chief Judge of PNG. Yeah, so
wow.
I think that's a very good good business venture, and particularly with sport, because that's one area that we know there's so many gifted athletes back home. Outside, for myself, I think I would love to set up a tourism business that gets people, when they come to POM, to go to like Gulf or places around Port Moresby where you make it just transition so smoothly. Like, it's privately owned. I don't have to rely on the government as much. I've got my own chartered flights.
Yeah.
I just fly people to Karama 600. Every Airways 600.
Ooh.
600 Airways.
600 ways.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think just because I feel to that point, like, tourism's such a thing that I want us to be seen like Fiji. I feel even though we're only literally on the same island, part of Melanesia, and people think about Fiji and then as a holiday destination to go to, whereas PNG, no one thinks about that. And I think changing that perception, if I have enough money to just promote it as much, do advertising campaigns that push our beautiful, Kimbe's or Yule Island or places like that, where I think there's not enough exposure that's done well by the PNG Tourism Authority. And that's not to have a dig on them. I think obviously money is an object there that prevents things from happening, but I think I'd love to do that.
Man, I love that.
Yeah.
I love those two.
Yeah.
And they can go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And the last question that Bryson had sent, Jezza had sent through was around anything on your bucket list that you want to tick off, whether it's this year or upcoming.
Oh, shit. Okay, two for me. Let's go with two. One is the Highlands Highway. I would love to do that. I was speaking to Dad the other day, and he was in Mount Hagen, and he was just talking about how they went up the Highlands Highway, and I was just thinking about all of the places I've been to in PNG, and I haven't been to the Highlands yet, so I would love to venture down or up the Highlands Highway and stop at all the markets.
Fresh.
Jerry spoke about it on his podcast. Fresh pineapple and strawberries, and none of these processed fruits with fake sunlight on them.
Yeah.
It's all natural goodness, and get the nice little mumu here and there. Oh, goodness me, my mouth is watering. But that's one. The other one would probably, I'd love to go to South America, I think. For some reason I just feel like drawn to that place. I feel like I would have a good time there. the beaches to the big cities like Rio and all of that. But even like just want to go look at Panama and Colombia and Brazil and Cuba, and like it's just such an unexplored different side of the world, Argentina and all of those places, and watch a soccer game there and go crazy for a bit. But those are my two.
For me, on my bucket list, I'd love to travel to Europe, and I know you went there last year.
Yes.
I think it's, as you mentioned on the podcast, the history of the place. You went to the Colosseum. You were able to go make handmade pasta in Italy, and I think and there's so much of their architecture too as well, in terms of how they were able to design things and all the paintings. And I want to go to the Louvre, go see Paris and things like that. So that's one thing on my list. And I think the other one is just, I want to do the Kokoda track.
Ooh.
And I think that's an achievable one, because it's just back home. Just obviously do some training. But I think the history of itself, that it's obviously right at our doorstep. It's a bucket list thing that I know some people that, like my brother did it, and I'm sure you'd know family members and mates and friends that have done it. So I think just a good experience, eye-opening one to just, not many people get an opportunity to do it, because first of all, if they, don't travel to Palm, or even people in Mosby, it also requires a lot of time. You got to have food and everything. So those are the two things that I'd love to tick off.
Man, I love that one. The Kokoda. We should really try. The uncles. We should try. Do something and
imagine vlogging that. Like,
bro!
Oh gosh!
I'd love to do that. If the three of us can do it, that'd be awesome. And then we just vlog the whole thing. And share it with everyone.
Exactly.
Journey to Kokoda.
I think that's such a good.
So good. Anyways, no one steal our idea.
Well, do you have anything to say before we wrap up? Thank you for everyone sending their questions in.
I mean, keep it coming, guys, because we want to interact with everyone that follows us. But we're a PNG podcast. I know we're based in Australia, but we want to speak on some topics, some issues that PNG people face back home, but also internationally. Some of the challenges that you may face whilst being a PNG person overseas. Like, if you've got any questions or you want to share something with us, then just comment it, hit us up in the DMs, let us know, and we'll be happy to talk about it.
Well, that's it. Let's go.
Thanks, guys. Catch you all next week.